Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. I'm Jeff DiVeronica. He's Steve Bradley up there with the ball cap on. And we are talking with East Rochester girls basketball, the home of champions. They added another trophy to the case last year, ending a 29-year drought all the way back to 1992 when Steve and I were young men. And Samantha Lewis, one of our guests there, she wasn't even born by any stretch of the imagination. Samantha Lewis joins us, Sam Lewis, and head coach Mark Florack in his 6 years as head coach, 11th year in the program. We'll talk about that too. But Sam, did you realize that this group, that there had been that big of a drought for basketball titles in East Rochester?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all the time. The last group that got the title is actually my mom's high school friends. So I think that really made me realize, no offense to my mom, but how long it's been. But I feel like every day in practice, we'd look up at that banner. We're like, we need to get another one. So that was really exciting.
I covered that team. I was in college, right out of college. Maggie Herco was the star center. Rich Apani, the football coach at Hilton for a lot of years. He was the young head coach for East Rochester basketball. What's your mom's name? Or was her maiden name?
Van Bortle, Kelly Van Bortle.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, it runs in the family.
Yeah.
Steve Bradley, take it away.
Well, Mark, your team's ranked second in the state, but I think we'll get to that. We'd just like to know more about Sam. We know that she plays 4 sports. Last year, she plays field hockey, basketball, indoor track, and outdoor track. She won 5 sectional patches last year, and she's closing in on becoming the all-time leading scorer in East Rochester girls basketball history. What makes her so good?
Oh, God. You got about 15, 20 minutes? Listen, she is the consummate student athlete. She's tremendous academically. She is the hardest worker. Look, I've had a lot of great kids over the years. I really have. And a lot of coaches, they tell us that we're never supposed to say things like this. But this young lady, from day one, we brought her into the program. She never played modified. She went right to JV as a 7th grader, right to varsity as an 8th grader. And that started it for her. She was dedicated. She was the first girl in the gym. She still is. She's the last one to leave. I've never been around a young person with the motivation, the drive, and obviously she has a ton of athletic ability. She's been a joy to be around. She is one of the best players and best kids that I have ever coached.
Wow. Very high praise. Mark, maybe, and that's the kind of thing any parent wishes anybody would say about their kid. So that's awesome. But let's look at Sam, the basketball player. Break down her game for us.
Well, first of all, when she gets a rebound and she decides that she's going to go coast to coast, there isn't anybody better at it. She is quick. She is fast. She is good off the bounce. She's strong. She finishes at the rim. Over the years, she developed a terrific 3-point ability to shoot from the outside. She's become a very deft passer over the years. She's a total package. She's got an incredible basketball IQ. And basketball, really, to be perfectly honest with you, is she's going to go to college and play and do very well in field hockey, the sport that she loves. And she's awesome in track and field as well. But she's just been a joy to coach, and she just brings her game every night. She never, ever takes a playoff on either end of the floor. Her motor runs the whole game.
We're talking East Rochester girls basketball. Some high praise for Sam Lewis, all greater Rochester in field hockey. We'll talk about your future going to Geneseo. You're majoring in something really smart. What, biology?
Bio, yeah.
Why bio? What drew you to that? Or what do you want to do with that?
Well, I want to get my master's in nutrition and kind of take it down like the dietitian or nutritionist route. Yeah.
So you're averaging
I'm sorry.
You're averaging almost 19 points per game, 12 rebounds per game. You had 4 starters back from last year. Zara Eldridge averaging almost 11 points a game. Lily Funk, another captain, your 3 captains, 13.5 points per game, 12 rebounds per game. Bree Hickman, 7.7 points per game, almost 10 rebounds per game. And then new starter this year, Eldridge,
Anaya.
right? Bree, I beg your pardon, Anaya Eldridge, beg your pardon.
Yeah.
What makes this team tick, Sam, in your opinion? What makes you so good? You guys are really clobbering the competition. And I know you have your sights set on another time, but what makes this thing move so fast?
I mean, I feel like sometimes with a small school, it's hard to get a really basketball motivated team, like just a group of girls that loves playing and loves to win. But this group, like every single drill, from everyone's there 30 minutes before practice, we all hang out after. No one's ever in a rush to leave. I really think we love playing with each other, and we love winning and scoring. And it's even things about basketball that might not be enjoyable, like we love doing it together. And I think we really just push each other and complement each other really well.
Mark, building off of what Sam just said, you have 3 players that average in double figures. And obviously she is a known commodity throughout the region, but how much more difficult does it make it to defend your team when you have other players that you can count on? So if they overload on Sam, there's players that are open and can deliver.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the greatest compliments that a coach can receive about his basketball team is when an opposing coach or opposing players or even media people like you guys are say that team looks like they're hard to play against. And I think we are, because we play both ends of the floor. There'll be some nights, and Sam knows this, we talk about it all the time. We've talked about it for the last 2 years. There were nights when maybe we went on the road. We weren't shooting the ball very well that evening. We weren't scoring the way we normally score the ball, but we talk about defense travels all the time. And this team plays, I think one of the reasons why we're difficult to play against is because we play both ends of the court. We play pretty well in our 2-3 matchup zone. We press occasionally, which is pretty good. We're quick. We have girls that are pretty tough. And then on the other end of the floor, we have 4 or 5 girls every time on the floor that can shoot and score the basketball. So we share the ball. As Sam said, I think the girls really enjoy playing together, and we take it one game at a time. We talk about that all the time. We have goals at the beginning of the year to win our league, to win, hopefully compete and win sectionals. But we always take it one game at a time.
We are talking East Rochester girls basketball right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. We'll take a quick break, come back, finish our interview on the other side. You're watching us right here on Rock Sports Now.
Looking for a used truck? Can you find one out of 350? At BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com, you'll find one. Love SUVs? 800 are waiting for you to take one home at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com. Add 350 pre-owned sedans, and you've got a total of 1,500 used vehicles only at BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com.
Bob Johnson's got you right. Bob Johnson.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
When it comes to workers' comp, things can change quickly.
The only way to make sure your rights are protected is to have a trusted, committed attorney on your side.
An attorney who has devoted their career to helping injured workers.
Someone to fight for the money and medical benefits you deserve.
The only person on your side
is the attorney at your side.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
The best three things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guy school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
In these challenging times, our dedicated team at American Custom continues to provide top quality installations to every customer. With guidelines and restrictions changing daily, we apply attention to every detail. You can trust our team to make sure the job is done right.
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show on Rock Sports Now. I'm Jeff DiVeronica. He's Steve Bradley. Talking East Rochester girls basketball on our specialties Skype hotline. And Bombers are undefeated as we record this. 4 starters back, the team to beat in Class C1. We're talking with Sam Lewis and 6th-year head coach Mark Florack, who's been in the program. Sam, I'm looking at some of the scores. You've beaten a couple Class B schools, Palmac 59-51, Geneva by about 47 points. Most of your games are blowouts. You beat Clyde by 14. They're a 7-1 squad. 67-53 was the final score. In a game like that, where you're crushing the opponent, how do you all stay focused on working on your stuff and trying to get better? And it's not just a game you're not going to get much out of.
Yeah. Well, I think personally, I know I've been on teams where I've been on the opposite side, getting beat by, it's a blowout. And I think it's really important for us, at least, just to keep our composure in our class. It's never fun to be on the losing end, but obviously we're not, you're not going to play down to anyone's level either. So I think our communication is really important. And, if someone's doing, something stupid, maybe they took a stupid play or whatever, we just let each other know. And I think we take every play seriously. No one ever takes a play off. That's why you see we have some big, pretty large scores. But it's just because, I don't know, we play 100% the whole time.
Now, you always wonder, Steve, looking at a roster like this, 5'10" Cassidy Broker, right? 5'9" Sam Lewis as a guard, right? A couple other 5'9" Gianna Romack, and Lily Funk is 6 foot, and Bree is 5'9". Coach, are those legit heights? Some coaches inflate them.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, most of them are.
That's
I
really
know there's
good.
a lot of people that add a half inch or an inch. But most of them are. It's funny when we line up against other teams and coaches will say, "What's going on in the air? How did you get so big after all these years?" Last year we were bigger. We had 2 girls. Well, wait a minute, Sam. What did we have? 3 girls last year over 6 foot?
Yeah.
Wow.
We were huge last year.
Our Class C is loaded. You're ranked number 2 in the state, and I know that probably doesn't matter the first week of January, but there's another team down there, Pavilion, that's had a pretty good run too. They're also undefeated. When you look at Class C and the history that Section 5 has with all the competition among small schools, what makes the basketball among the small schools in our section so tough?
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of culture with our schools where if you've developed a program and you have a good youth feeder system to that program, we had that for quite a while. We're trying to bring that back. I think for us, The key has been in the last several years, I've had the luxury, and although there are some people who disagreed with what we did in this case, but I think we've had the luxury of having athletes and players like Samantha, where we were able to bring them up early, young, and have them together for 2 or 3 years. And then, like Sam said earlier, all of a sudden, when they've got 3 years experience at the varsity level, they may only be sophomores, juniors, but it starts to click and you start winning games. And the more you win, I'm old fashioned in believing that winning breeds winning. And I think that's what we've been able to do. And I think a lot of the smaller Class C schools, Oakfield, Alabama, Pavilion that you mentioned, there's Keshequa, there's a lot of these schools, Class C schools, Byron Burgeon, they have a culture of winning, and they get players. You got to have players. Look, coaches, we do the best we can do. There's a lot of good coaches. There's a lot of good teachers. But if you don't have players, you're not going to be successful. And because I have a great coaching staff. I have an assistant coach that's been with me for the last several years. She's wonderful. She's a second grade teacher in our building, and the girls love her, and she knows basketball. She was a 4-year player at Fredonia, but we're fortunate. And I think we've benefited from bringing these girls up who are ready to play at a young age. And now it's all coming to fruition. Look, we've got a chance to not only, I think, repeat this year, and I hope that doesn't come back to bite me, but we could be good for the next couple of years, because I think we've done it the right way.
Well, we're looking at the only senior on the roster right now on the screen. And we're not talking about any of the old guys on the screen. We're talking about senior Sam Lewis. Everyone else is younger than her. And this is a group, like Coach said, you guys took some lumps, but you were 13-9 when you were a sophomore, Sam. So I beg your pardon. As a freshman, 12-10, and then 13-1 last year. I guess. What did you learn, or what did you all learn as youngsters that's made you better now? Taking those lumps.
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Lily, the big on our team, we've been on the team together for a while. And I think being in the position where we've played really good teams in our league, when there were some like powerhouses like Gananda and Red Creek were really good, like when we were younger. And I think just watching them, we've just learned so much from like playing so young and, maybe being not as strong as some of the senior girls, but wanting to play with them. So now that we are like the upperclassmen, we're able to play at that level, and we just want to be the best that we can be now.
How motivating is it to know that if fortunate enough to win sectionals, there's an opportunity right now to go on, and getting out of Section 5 wouldn't be easy, and then but having the state tournament there at the end of the road is something that you haven't had a chance to experience yet. How much of a motivating factor is that for this team?
Yeah, I think it's especially motivating because last year we didn't have that, and there's like that, oh, what if we could have gone far in the state tournament, but we just don't know, and there's nothing we can do about it. So I think this year I just love the group of girls that we have this year, and I think we want our season to last as long as it can. So I think we'll do whatever we can to take it all the way.
Sounds like a good group, Coach Florack.
As Sam said, this is one of the most enjoyable seasons. I've had a lot of great kids, guys, but this group, for all the reasons that Sam mentioned, and now you guys know so much more about her. The word for her is focus. She does everything with focus. Her academics, her sports, how she puts everything together. It's absolutely incredible. And she's right about this team. This is a tight-knit group of young ladies. And by the way, my team, if there was a sportsmanship award that was given out every year, my girls would be at the top of the list. I'm bragging about them right now. But my girls go out, they play the game, they play hard, they compete, they don't talk trash, they don't complain about officiating. They just play the game the way it's supposed to be played. This is a real classy group of young ladies.
Sam, let me ask you about, I'm the father of an 8-year-old daughter who, I think there was some soap in her mouth yesterday because she was talking naughty. Who taught you how to be this all-American role model girl where you're dedicated, you show class, you show poise, you're a good athlete, good academically? Where does that come from?
I mean, my parents, I think their work ethic is really what gave me this idea of what hard work really looks like. And I think just watching them and seeing what like good people they are has just made me want to make them proud. It's like you don't want to disappoint your parents. So that's like my main motivating factor.
Well, go ahead, Steve.
I mean, that we talk a lot on this show about messages and going beyond the game. And, to hear a high school athlete say that is, sometimes we ask, what would your advice be to younger players? And I think that that's as good of advice as anybody can give.
You're chasing a school record. You're going to end up being the all-time leading basketball scorer in East Rochester history, chasing somebody named Nicole Lobdell, who I covered back in '96. But you're going to play field hockey in college. Why field hockey? And is that your favorite sport, or your best sport, or both? It's your favorite sport, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was hard to kind of choose what I wanted to do, but it all just comes down to what I felt like I could put the most in with and like be the happiest. So I feel like I could play basketball in college and be happy too. I don't know. I just love field hockey, and I really want to continue doing with that in track. So I don't know. It's a hard decision, but I'm still going to like try to play basketball and stuff when I can.
Well, I know you're going to miss her a ton next year, Coach Florack, when she's gone. I know, but hopefully there's a lot of season left here and well into March for the Bombers. So we appreciate you coming on our program. It's been a lot of fun getting to know more about East Rochester girls basketball. Steve, anything else you want to offer, sir?
No, I just think that it's going to be fun to watch. Class D is always really competitive, and I love the small town spirit too. When the community support, and you see it all the time in East Rochester when we call the football game, right? And sometimes there's just certain towns that have that spirit that everybody gets behind, and if this team keeps rolling, they're going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
Mark Florack, how much longer are you coaching, sir?
Well. Sam's going to laugh at this one. It seems like every year there's a senior girl, and I say that I'm going to stay until you graduate. And I definitely said that to Sam. Now I may have to stay one more year because I think I said it this year to Lily Funk as well. So we'll see. Look, who knows? And I'm having a ball doing it. I've been around for a long time. I've lived in ER all my life. This is my hometown. This place was great to me. I played for a legend here in the late 60s. I played for John Baines. And then I went and played for Murph Shapiro at MCC. I've been an elected official in our community for the last 18 years. So this place has been awfully good to me. I think I've paid a little bit of it forward. And who knows, maybe God willing, if my health is still good, maybe I'll coach for another 5 years.
I think I've written about the name Florack a few times. Probably had some daughters in the programs there that I wrote about too. So it sounds like a wonderful life, sir. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to share your story with us. And we're happy to put it out there to the public so they get to know more about some great people in East Rochester. Coach Florack, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Sam, good luck to you and the rest of the Bombers.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching our show. Steve Bradley, well done as always. Dynamite selection. This guy wanted East Rochester basketball. I was looking around. He goes, we got to go with ER. Great choice. Thanks for watching us on Rock Sports Now. It's the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. We're having a ball.